Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of our Leverage podcast. Man, I have known this guy for probably close to a decade. Man, different real estate brokerages. Man, I've got to see some cool things that he does and some of the people he gets to hang around with. I get pretty envious and jealous of those people he gets to rub elbows with. Always a guy that I love hearing advice from, input from. So we got Mat Levchenko here. So Matt, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you make money.
Man, I love that question, right? Someone asked me the other day, like, what do you do? And my answer is whatever it takes. And so at the core of it, right? So like I am an entrepreneur's guy. Like I'm a business guy at heart. And beyond that, like I have a coaching soul. I guess I'm all about like helping to bring others up and with. I've loved being like, my background is in education. I'm my background, like my degree is in the arts. Like I got a background in theater and I was a professor in the past. And so like when I got into the real estate space and I started getting some traction on my own and people were asking like, hey, how did you do what you did? And I'm like, I have no idea. They're like, well, can you help others? And I was like, sure. And so I was able to bring my teaching and just my mind for systems and processes, and then just my willingness to help others kind of connect the dots, kind of got me into the coaching space early. Then it introduced me into leadership. And so I had the privilege of running several really large brokerage offices, and I kind of cut my teeth on growth and attraction, and then getting into working with some of the biggest and best teams. And I've just been a student of growth, optimization, systems, leverage over the last almost 14 years in leadership and coaching. And, 4 years ago, I decided to go all in on me. And like what I discovered in my prior roles is my net growth for other companies wasn't actually affecting my net worth. So I just did a post on my YouTube channel about that moment where I finally hit that milestone, and I was on stage with the president of the company and in front of 3,000 people and roaring laughter and applause. It was the loneliest I've ever felt. And it was that turning point that it was like this award, this milestone that I've been working on attaining my entire career had a cost that I wasn't aware of until I got it. And it was all the missed meals. It was all the missed soccer games or the dance recitals and all these things. And I was like, man, is this even worth it? And for me, the carrot had moved, the cheese had moved. And that was for me when I actually was, because I was never going to leave that company. And it was that point where somebody finally had a really candid conversation with me and pulled back the curtain and asked some great questions and helped me self-discover. And it like all the roads led to, getting to partner with EXP and get into there. And it just, man, it changed everything for me at that point. So when I came over, I was like, all right, I'm going to launch my coaching company. I really want to help other agents live like super fulfilling and amazing lives. That just kind of built and grew from there. You and I met in St. Louis when I was at the regional rally. You were speaking as one of the icon speakers, and I was there as the MC. I was invited to MC. And at that point I was still just an agent in the company. And from that regional rally, I was invited to then do the Kansas City regional rally, and corporate was there, and they're like, hey, kind of like your vibe. And there's and it seems like you're doing really good on the attraction side. So would you be open to these new roles? There's these new roles. I was like, pause. I'm good. I've got the shirt. I've been in corporate. I was a national coaching trainer. I've done the party line for long enough. Like I love this freedom that the agent role gives you. And I had some really good connections on the inside. So like at that time I was working on bringing over a 37 agent brokerage in Texas. So I was working with Tony King on that. And I had gone back to him. I was like, hey, what do you know about these growth director roles? And he's like, you should really consider it. And I'm like, pause. like I'm like, I've already done that in the past, and like it was always really restrictive. And I coach agents and teams. Can I still coach? And he's like, yes,
Yeah.
as long as you can still fulfill the role, you can still do that. I said, cool. I'm writing a book. I want to promote that book. Do I have the freedom and the ability to promote and grow my brand? Because where I was in the past, they did not like you having your own brand. In fact, you were immediately considered competition, and there was all these secret conversations that you would just stop. You would stop receiving opportunities if you got too big for your britches. And I didn't like that. I didn't want that. And so they're like, yeah, as you grow and as your influence grows, it's better for us. And I'm like, okay, so if that's a yes and that's a yes, I was like, I don't want to be like the cookie cutter vanilla mouthpiece. And they're like, look, we're talking to you because of who you are. So, keep it between the lines, but just be you. And I'm like, damn it, man. This is a yes, and this is a yes, and this is a yes. Right. So I met with Tony, and then I got a chance to meet with Russ, and then I was meeting with Amy. And I was like, okay, the opportunity intrigued me. The leadership closed me. And that was 2 years ago. Was able to jump into that opportunity. And it's been an awesome ride, awesome opportunity. And like we were talking about before you hit record, I firmly believe like life moves at the speed of your relationships and the quality of your conversation. And and like one of the benefits that doesn't play out on paper is the opportunity to be in the room with the C-suite, right? Like having an opportunity to kind of just vibe with Leo is just different. I don't know if you've had him on the pod, but you should.
No, not yet. We're just working on that. So
listen, I've had Leo on a couple of different calls with some teams and groups that we've been bringing on, and the guy's just different, and he's like he's an agent's agent, and he's an agent's leader, and it's really cool to have access to those types of leaders, and like before when you got too close to the sun, it was really hot, like you could get burned. Here it's like it's different. It's like everything is. I don't know. It's hard for me to kind of articulate the difference other than like it's accessible, it's approachable, it's relatable.
Yeah.
So
no, it's a very
full
cool.
circle. I mean, I kind of ran with that for 7 minutes.
Yeah, no, you're good. No, I like that because it gives a good background and kind of, just the intelligence that you are and the business acumen you have, right? Like this isn't just a guy that just started a business last month, right? Like he has been in that corporate world. We both kind of fell on that path. I was 19 years with the Fortune 500, and there's a lot of cool skills and a lot of learning that you bring to the entrepreneur table that a lot of people don't have, right? When you walk into that, I mean, you can understand leverage, you can understand the value of systems and processes, you can understand. What you don't understand going into business is you actually have to do all of those things now when you're a small business owner, where corporate had people to do those things, but you at least understood the value of, I don't have to do everything, right? I need leverage in my business. And that's kind of where we kind of go with it, with this podcast. Is like, it's a little bit about scaling, right? It's a little bit about leverage, about systems and processes. It's like, what does business owner need right in their toolkit? Like as they grow from a pre-rev to a rev to an exit, right? Like they're going to go through fundamental phases of differences. Systems are going to grow and scale as they scale their business. The leverage is going to grow and scale as they grow their business. And what's cool about having Matt on here, right, is he's seen all of that, and he works with the highest of the highest, right, business producers and revenue generators. So he gets to kind of see their pain points. Their pain points are going to be drastically different than obviously a first-year agent or a pre-revenue type person. We were actually just talking about that before we got on the recording. So what's kind of, shift gears for a minute, what's kind of the biggest focus thing you're focusing on growth right now?
So personally or like professionally in the
either
role?
way, I think obviously you come from a bucket of growing a coaching company, right? And also growing a real estate company, but also personally, I leave it open-ended, man. Whatever's comfortable for you to roll down.
As far as focusing on growth, right? Like in our world right now, because the landscape is changing so drastically in the brokerage environment, and there's all these M&As going on, and like all of a sudden Bed Bath & Beyond just purchased Fathom. Like, first of all, okay. Cool. There's what we're finding is right now the heart of the the avatar that we're serving at the highest level right now is the independent broker owner of 5 to 50 agents that sees the great consolidation coming, understands that they're going to need to affiliate with a platform at some point, or they're going to get completely swallowed up and become irrelevant. And so they're exploring who has the most who has the most unrestricted platform that can support the broker owner best, and just getting into those conversations and then helping these business owners who built something on their own name, their brand, like it's their baby, and helping them see that like they don't have to sacrifice all of that to come and make a move for like leverage and support. So the growth side on the corporate side is really, it's getting heart to heart with some of these broker owners that are kind of scared that they have to then like sell their soul in order to get the support that they're looking for. And we're like, no, listen, whatever the state requires is all the things we ask for. Other than that, like, we want you to keep everything that you love about it. Let us take off the plate everything that you hate about it, and then get back to leading and loving and your team, and then selling some real estate and having some fun. So there's that, right? More on the personal side, on the growth side, like I've launched now, my mission right now is to help entrepreneurs that feel like they're winning on paper and losing everywhere else in life. And so when I wrote the book, and the book is The Entrepreneur's Regret, it was a culmination of case studies of people that I had worked with on the coaching space, and then also my own personal journey where there's a thing called achievement addiction that as entrepreneurs we get, where it comes to like the dopamine chase of the hunt, the win, the thrill, etc. And what we do is we become so wired for chasing that dopamine achievement that when we get home, it's not exciting. And so we avoid it. The silence is painful, kind of scary. So what do? We open up our laptop or our phone to get to the next email, to solve the next problem, the fire. And so the places where we're supposed to be present, even though we're physically there, we're mentally already fighting tomorrow. And
it reminds me of that book, The Gap and the Gain, right?
Yeah. I mean, Sullivan and Hardy, they talk about it, and they talk about it as the hedonic treadmill, right? Where the goal keeps moving and you're always chasing that next thing. Well, that next thing can cost you everything. And the people that you say you're doing this for are the first people we set aside. So inside all that is the conversation around like, okay, it's not an and or conversation. You don't have to choose family or a successful business. The challenge is, and this is where you guys, I think, can really nail this conversation, is, are you as effective and optimized when you're in your business as you should be? And have you set up the systems and the leverage to multiply your opportunity when you're not there? Right. So that you can earn the right to be present at home when you're supposed to be there, instead of having to pick up the phone and knock out another deal because you weren't really killing it when you should have been. And so that's kind of the bigger conversation that I'm having a lot of fun working with entrepreneurs about and talking about.
Yeah, I love that. In fact, I went down to one of our partners that's part of our affiliate marketing white label program, had spoke on her stage in Wichita, Kansas. And one of my opening
so far away.
Exactly. I thought about you when I was over there. I was like, I got up and that was my opening story, right? It's like, hey, we chased the achievements to the point of missing, it was a little more drawn out and a little more effective, but essentially that was the story, right? It's like my story was chasing the achievements, missing kids' games, missing all of the things. And for what? You know what I mean? It's like chasing success, you have to be careful what you really want, how you define success, right? And you develop a different level of what defining success. Like success now is empowering others to help you be successful, right? Joining people together to be successful together. At my age and stage, it's not about building something for myself now, right? It's about building something together through leverage, right? To all be successful, shall we say. So really cool stuff. Let me let's say, looking back, what's the biggest breakthrough that kind of changed the trajectory trajectory of your business? Again, I know you kind of talked probably a little bit about the EXP opportunity, right? Just kind of hitting you in the face and not being able to find a reason to say no.
Yeah. I think the biggest moment that changed my trajectory was, well, there's always been, like, for me, I wouldn't say like confrontations, but there were moments where I was challenged or like proven wrong, like where I go like, oh, I'll prove you wrong, like a chip on my shoulder opportunity in moments. Yeah. And then for like the last one, I would say the biggest one was when somebody did take the time to just pull me aside and say, have you studied and looked at like what your skill set and energy could look like over here and what it's costing you to not be here? And I said, listen, I'm good. I'll look though, because as a leader, I always want to know exactly what I'm saying no to. So I will always have the conversation. I'm just going to be forthright and upfront and says, you know, I'm not looking for anything right now. Yeah. The thing is that you never know what you're looking for until you see it. And that's what happened whenever when I had that conversation. They pulled back the dashboard and said, okay, last year, so the last year that I was in leadership, I hired 176 agents that year. I grew that office from 382 to 466. I won all the awards. And they're like, well, if you did that here, here's kind of what that would look like. And I'm like, oh, that's a really great year. And they're like, no, that's December. And I'm like, are you shitting me right now? And so
you don't know what you don't know, right?
You don't. And I'm like, oh, hold on. And so then, of course, my whole laundry list of all the misinformation and the lies that were being fed to us through leadership. I'm like, well, what about this? And what about this? And they're like, well, actually, this, and this. And I was like, damn it. I can't, like, I went home. I remember just going to my wife, and I was like, what if I told you I was looking at another opportunity? And they're like, outside of this company? And I was like, yeah. and she's like, well, why? And so I share with her like all these things. And so my wife is generally the stable, steady Eddie, like needs to sleep on it, pray on it. Let's talk about it next month. And just in this conversation, I remember it was Halloween and we were walking around our neighborhood with our daughters, and I was having this conversation. My hands are in my pocket. It's kind of cold. And I'm expecting her to go like, well, let's just not rush it. This is a big, you've been here for 13 years, 15 years. Like, and so, but she goes, well, it sounds freaking awesome. Why are you still here? And I was like, bro. So again, biggest turning point is number one, again, life moves at the speed of your relationships and the quality of your conversations. The relationship brought the opportunity to me, opened it up, took the time, took the care to ask the right questions, and then just showed me, right? I'm in Kansas City, Kansas and Missouri. A lot of people don't know Missouri is the show me state. So around here, it's like, don't talk about it, show me. And so this person took the time to show me. And then the other side of it was, the conversation I had with my wife was, that was enough at that moment for me to go, okay. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, but, loyalty, love my broker, like all this stuff. And she's like, pause, hold on.
Shut it.
Hold on. Who are you loyal to? Us or them? And I'm like, dang it. Stop reverse coaching me, bro.
Great question. That's awesome. So good. So good. Yeah, no, I love that. I love that you keep going back to kind of like the relationships, right? And and your value of your relationships is so important. Next question I'd kind of ask you is kind of what gives you the most leverage today? It could be people, it could be systems, it could be partnerships, it could be your relationships. Where is your leverage at today, and what gives you the most leverage?
People, systems, tools, right? So I have probably one of the best admin teams that I get access to. So like on the growth side, like when someone submits a growth ticket, like we go into the systems and it creates a group chat, and there's like 32 people in the wings ready to come in. So like when I have a discovery call with someone and we get into their weeds and their pain point with like what their issues might be and what's holding them back from X, Y, and Z, I, in my mind, already have a mental Rolodex of like, okay, these are the next two people I'm bringing on the next call. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's really great. When you come over, it's going to be fantastic. I was like, hold on. let me get you with integrations and onboarding and teams and or XY, like this person. And we're literally going to like, here's the checklist, here's the timelines, here's all the things. So having these people be able to come in and support these conversations on the fly is incredible, right? So that's the leverage. Then the systems underneath it all, the platform that we get to operate on is another one of the biggest leverage points that I have is, with rev share, with the stocks, with everything else that we get access to and available, plus the technology and the tools, that's everything. And then on the backside, personally, I mean, I'm really just diving into AI and creating my agents and my co-works and like really systematizing so many things that I like every day I surprise myself. And then like for my coaching clients, I mean, we were working out of so many different spreadsheets and I'm like, well, let me just build an app for that. And so like, I'll just build an app. Like I'll vibe code an app for my clients. And they're like, how did you do this? And I was like, I just talked it into existence. It's that easy. It's so weird. So those are the three key leverage areas that I have, right? So my admin team, the people, the infrastructure and the support that I have, and then the AI that I've just been diving into. And man, the more I get into it, the more I realize, man, I don't know enough. It's exciting and it's also terrifying. I'm like, wait a minute. Like how much of this like when will this be me? I'm like, I better learn how to install furnaces or something.
Right. I was talking to my last guest and I was like, it's crazy as it's like, back 13 or 15 years ago, like we didn't really, it was semi-lonely in the world of being a business owner only because you didn't really have a lot of people that affiliated with you or connected with you, right? That they're at different levels of their business, whatever the case may be. But it's like, if you needed guidance in what to do in certain high pressure business situations, it was a little difficult, right? You had to have a good trusted person that was comparable to where you were in business. And even then you're like, is that the right answer? Is that not the right answer? Shoot, now you just go into Claude and you just tell it what your situation is and who you are. And you're like, got the answer. Like, what CRM do I use? Right? It's like, okay, I could ask Matt, or I could just go into chat and just be like, I'm a $2 million a year business and I have 32 people in my database. I want to grow it to 500. And it's like, I don't now just go buy 5 CRMs to figure out which one works. I have one way to get it.
And now I'm even putting them up against each other. So I'll have Manus and Claude and chat up and I'll copy and paste one to the other. Be like, well, this one said this and this one said that. What do you say to that? And they're like, no, don't. So I love that. I've got my GPT board of directors, my LLM board of directors talking all at once. So.
They do love to compete against each other. It is pretty funny. Are you just sidebar? Are you like when you talk about building apps? Are you using Claude? Are you using Lovable? What are you using in that space?
So I'll go into ChatGPT and I'll talk about what I want to build, and I'll have Chat prompt me what I need to put into Lovable so that I can get the workflow correct. So I'll start the ideation in chat. I'll talk about, all right, so here's what I'm thinking about. Here's what I wanted to do. Here's like, whatever, what am I missing? Go do some research, see like what functionality, UI, et cetera, does it need to be in place. And then put together a prompt that's going to tell Lovable exactly what to do step by step next and go. And then I'll go into Lovable, and then Lovable is just building it side by side. And I'm just like, let's roll.
Yeah, it's so cool. That's exactly how we build ours out. We'll a lot of times go chat into Claude and then Claude into it, but it's the same concept, right? It's like, here's the prompts, throw it into Lovable, and voila, half a day later, depending on how big it is that you're building, you now have like a fully polished website, backend system, process, orders, forms. I mean, literally our entire, we have 150 virtual assistants that are employed by Sphere Rocket, not subbed out to clients, but just employed by us. And, we probably get 1,000 leads a week just coming in off organic, off Facebook, all of those things. And, all of these things are a operational albatross. I mean, like when you got that many leads coming in, you've got an onboarding process, you've got to go out and recruit the talent out there. I mean, it's a full business box of, it's just like EXP, right? I mean, it's not just, I talked to an agent and voila, they become an agent. No, there's a whole paperwork, systems, processes, training, onboarding, right?
Yeah.
All of that. I think that's lots of business owners miss. And it's like, how can you systematize that in full experience, right? And there's so much more to the experience, right, than the agent just showed up and started working for EXP. All of the stuff that happens on the back end,
1,000%.
getting rev share set up, getting their payments set up, getting like literally everything, getting them on the brokerage roster. Like, I mean, there's just so many things that long and the short of it is, yeah, I mean, for us, we completely changed our business over to Lovable. And now, like you said, we can vibe code changes like this. You know, it's no longer, sorry, programmers out there in the world, I don't have to go out to a programmer and charge me, right, a $500 fee for making a simple change. I can and have to wait 3 days for it to be processed. I just go in and go, okay.
Yep.
Done.
I mean, like for instance, this is a great example. So one of my coaching clients, so I built this app for like SOI, like touch points, et cetera. Just it's a self-contained SOI system, and he's growing and building his team. And so he was onboarding one of his new buyer's agents, and he's like, "Hey, does this operate teams? Can you create like a team leader dashboard?" And I'm like, "That's a great idea. Yeah, hold on." And I literally go in and I go into Lovable. I was like, "All right, Lovable, I got a team lead that wants to do this. I know we already created an admin access, but like I want to create team functionality. I want the team database to be secret, but I also want to see like this, and this." In like no less than 9 minutes, it iterated all the code, created a thing. I went in, I tested it, I logged in. I was like, "This is badass." And I responded. I was like, "It does now." And he goes, "What do you mean it does now?" I just texted you 10 minutes. I was like, "I did it. I built it." He goes, "You're shitting me." I said, "Yeah, that's how fast this is."
It's so insane. It's so insane. Wow. Well, I would say, you know, what is a piece of leverage that a lot of business owners what is something somebody's doing that they should be probably using leverage for, right? Like I always try to tell people, you should be working in the highest dollar per hour work, right? We should always be working in that area. For real estate agents, obviously it's consumer facing, belly to belly facing context. The bottom end of it is probably being too buried in your email, answering too many Facebook messages, right? Whatever it is. Tell me a little bit about where you see in your world or in just general, right? The people that you coach go either way. Where are people spending time that could be leveraged out?
Yeah, so it's at the executive administration level, and so at the base level, it's transactional management, it's monitoring the detail stuff, keeping those things in order. The next level on top of that, it's, operations and systems management. Do you have a team? Is there a database? Who's managing that? Who's keeping it clean? Who's updating it? Who's processing things, et cetera? Like what's your systems around that? Next to that, we're going to be going into marketing and branding. Like, do you have somebody out there that's making sure and managing the content that's coming in has a consistent look and it's going out to the channels, and like you've got a system in the process? So number one, your agents can do what they're supposed to do best: go out, build relationships, solve problems, help people buy and sell real estate, and then, make it easy for them to tell the story, get more business, and then post. And then after that, it's, time and life management. Like that next level as the executive assistant is like filtering in the non-essential communication, flagging the stuff that needs responded to, and then just eliminating the distractions so leaders can be effective and optimized in the times that they're there. So those are like kind of the four like tiers of the leverage that I'm like, hey, let's start here. Let's look. And some of them are going to overlap, and you may find an admin or a VA that maybe can do 2 or 3 of those things really, really well. Sure. But you're likely probably looking at like 3, right? Yeah. So,
and that's kind of what I tell people is like, look at a couple different scenarios, right? Especially on a VA world, wherever you get your virtual assistant from, is you're spending usually somewhere between, $3 and $6 an hour, depending on the skill set, right? Mm-hmm. And my biggest thing is like specialization. Yeah. Like I want to hire Matt as a growth director to specialize nothing but in growth. I don't want Matt over here in the marketing world trying to do social media with foresight and all of that, right? Like, yeah, nope. He may be able to do it, but that's not where I want him, right? I want him in the growth role.
I'm not C-suite for that, for sure.
So it's like, that's what corporations figured out. They're like, Matt, you focus on this, dude. You grow the company. Wendy, you run the whole marketing side, right? I don't need you recruiting people, and I don't need you creating marketing, right? So, and with obviously VAs, right, you're doing it at $3 to $5 an hour. So if you've got 3 VAs and you're paying $15 an hour, think about the efforts that you can get out of 440-hour or 340-hour a week workers, right? Essentially specializing in social, specializing in executive admin, and specializing in, whatever else you desire to do. Cold calls.
And on that note, right, here's the biggest challenge that most of my coaching clients have when we talk about this. They go, well, I don't know if I have enough work for them right now. And I said, you're right, because you're only thinking as a solo operator. What you're not doing is thinking like, what does a team or organization look like that has these people in place? Think about the dream projects. Think about the marketing tools or tasks that you'd really like to do, but you're not doing because you don't even know where to fit it in. Like how would you optimize your touches? Like, how about like events and all these other things that you would like to do? If you had all this support, I guarantee you have more than enough to do. And when you do that, you're going to see a 3 to 4x return on your admin cost in the increased opportunities that you're going to start generating, if not
100%.
more.
100%. And that's what I tell people. I was like, teams don't get big as teams and successful by doing it themselves. And nobody says you have to go become a big team. Obviously, stay solo, do your 15, 18 deals. You're happy. That's awesome. Love that for you, right? But those that want to continue to scale, at some juncture, you're going to hit a ceiling, or the ceiling is going to be, I can't take on anymore. My business is falling apart, or worse, my life is falling apart, right? And the only way, though, you get better in those things is to either back down on your goals or add headcount to your thing. I found like really interesting, like the Dan Martell book, Buy Back Your Time, right? That I love that, his replacement ladder, and it kind of goes through that, right? Like a lot of people want to jump right in and replace sales right off the bat, and I'm like, no, that's like
that's the engine.
Like, your admins first, your systems.
You need fuel to run this thing. Sales is important.
That's too funny. I don't know if you have another call, so I don't want to delay you if you have another back-to-back, but if you've got another 10 minutes, we can keep jamming. But
let's roll.
Okay, cool.
I'm good.
Cool. All right. Awesome. So what's one process or system or habit that creates, that's kind of like created outsized results for you? A habit or a process or system that has helped create results for you?
So we've been doing a call 3 days a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to 9:30 for anyone who wants to elevate their conversation. It's called Conversations That Convert. We've been running it every day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 9:30 Central, every day for 3 years. We got hundreds of episodes. That exercise in consistency, and number one, connecting and staying in front of our people, and then number two, just it elevates my leadership, it elevates my discipline as well. But that's probably been the number one thing that would bring more people to the conversation, and again, it's also something that we will always have in our back pocket to offer somebody to like get to know us a little bit or to get better in their business. So that exercise has leveled up my leadership and my consistency and my willingness to just stay in the activity, stay in the game over and over and over again. There's that. The other is just being really intentional in connecting with our avatar on social, reaching out like with curiosity and value, and removing any sales aspect to the conversation, like truly just getting genuinely curious about people, wanting to learn more about them, their business, their pain points and their goals, and then being open to when the conversation pivots towards interest, and then connecting them with value. So that would probably be the two biggest things.
All right. I love that. I think those are great. Kind of switching gears a little bit. If you lost everything tomorrow, what's the first thing you would do? What's the first thing you'd rebuild?
If I lost everything tomorrow, the first thing I would rebuild, like, And then, I mean, I still have my license and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I get my license again because
start selling real estate.
Yeah, I mean, so the first thing I would do is, number one, like if I lost everything, I'd get right back into and like rebuild my organization and my people. Like, so leverage through others is probably one of the most powerful things that's out there. So while doing that, I would just jump right back into transactions and sales. Find a problem to solve. Go create a solution for somebody, and then that and as those two things are coming up, then kind of pivot back into the thing. That's my off the cuff answer for that.
Love that. No, I love that. It's kind of a little curveball I throw in there. What's a lesson you learned the hard way?
That when you're in a moment, you never know it's the last time. So you can't treat any moment like there was a time that I didn't know was the last time I carried my daughter. And I wish I would have had more opportunities for that. So I value moments and presence right now more than anything. In fact, like Leo just posted a post, like a video today where he talked about, he had the privilege early on to be in front of multiple 100 millionaires, right? Like those with nine-figure net worths. And he would always ask them like, what's your advice? What do you regret? And they said, don't mess up the years where they're little. Yeah. Like you can make all you want. You're never going to get the times back when they're littles. And I had Leo on my podcast early 2 years ago when I wrote the book. I was like, listen, I love your story. You speak to the message that I'm talking about. And he came in, and I remember him just being really, he said, listen, he goes, you can have breakfast or lunch with me. He goes, I don't care what you've built, what your net worth is, or where you're coming from, or how far it took you to travel. I have dinner with my family.
Yeah.
And that just really stuck with me. And that's the message. And it's not an or conversation. You can have a thriving business and an amazing life and look good and be an emotionally regulated human being without losing in any of those areas. Right.
For sure. So, and I think we overthink. People will think like, oh, they're putting their, it's just like, oh, they're not giving us good service because they're putting their family first. And that's just never true. Right. People actually respect the fact that you have boundaries, and we just get ourselves freaked out that it's not good customer service. Whoever came up with that and why they made everybody think that, I have no idea, because it's clearly the opposite.
Yeah, no, I think what it does is it's a fallacy. It's one of those limiting beliefs that justifies empty hustle for the sake of the empty pursuit of more for the sake of more just kills. It just destroys 100%. People and families. So
I think, like you said, it justifies the busyness. It justifies the high achievement, right? The strive to be great and all those things. And they're just ignoring the balance, right? They're focused on just driven, right? Instead of, and I used to always say, a lot of dead bodies are left behind based on the high achiever, right? The high achiever that can balance the family and quality of lifestyle. That's the real winner, not the high achiever that just let everything burn behind them.
What's interesting, and it's interesting you bring this up, and I just was having a conversation with Chad Himes. I don't know if you know Chad. He's part of the Ben Kinney Network. He was just on the show, and we had a conversation around the high achiever, and I'd made a comment. I'm like, well, the high achiever, that's a real misnomer. He goes, pause. He goes, there's a difference between a high achiever. He goes, the high achiever can run and gun and do things and work hard. He goes, but the elite achiever is leveraged and present, right? The elite achieve. So there's a lot of high achievers out there, and they hate their life, right? Yeah. They hate their life, and they've made a lot of money, but they don't have anything to show for it, and there's no one left to spend it with, right? A lot of high achievers are lonely, right? The elite.
Yeah, I love that, and sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the elites can step away for a month and be like, right now, Leo, he's in Europe till August. I tried to schedule, and they're like, if you don't schedule with him today, it's August. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. All right. And so he's in London, and you just can't get him. I was like, bet. That's like, what an example. What an example. Love that.
I love that. Yeah. And that's exactly it, right? Is like, I look at the pinnacle of success is they make money while they're not working, and they are able to just step away from the business. I always tell people the simplified version is if you can't step away from your business for minimum 2 weeks, ideally 60 or 90 days, and it's still not making money, you're not really that scaling business. You
don't have a business.
Right?
You've got a job.
Exactly. 100%. 100%. What's one piece of a leverage advice you'd give to someone trying to get to the next level?
So number one, don't do it blindly. Follow the proven path. Like, get into relationships with people that understand the leverage piece. And then second, don't just set it and forget it. I think the people, especially when we talk about VAs, they don't treat them like a full-time employee in their company. They don't bring them to meetings. They don't have them like on the Zoom in the background of everything. Like, they are an employee that's just like the person that's sitting next to you at the desk. The biggest mistake that I've seen people make, especially with leverage, is they think that the leverage is going to solve their problem. The leverage is going to help take tasks. Like, you got to treat them like an employee, because they are. Right. Yeah. So that's probably the biggest thing. So don't do it blindly. Don't do it out of desperation and pain. Have a process, follow it. And then also do not assume that you can set it and forget it. There's no simple solution.
100%. I'm glad you said that, because like even in this big corporate office we have in Dallas, like it's all glass, baby. Our sales team sits right out in the bullpen, and all the executives sit on the outside. And guess what visibility does? It ensures indirectly they are engaged, they are making phone calls, and
no one's on YouTube. No one's on YouTube or Netflix.
No. And the cool thing is, if you treat VAs or even any remote employee, right? I mean, obviously there's certain levels that you wouldn't do this, but a lot of your team and administrative teams, you want to put them in a Zoom, like you said. That is just like having them in your office. Like that window that I have that looks at my sales team, that window is my VA through a Zoom meeting, right? I mean, I know what they're doing, when they're doing it. It's a quick button put, because people are just like, I don't know how to work with remote people. Well, you and I come from the corporate world, and we work with the remote people all the time, right? So it was natural for us, but a lot of people are just like, no, I need them in office. I need to see them face to face. I'm like, well, cool. What are we doing here? We're doing a podcast virtually. What are you doing after COVID? Everything's virtual. You know, there's value in being in person. Don't get me wrong, but again, at the cost of the labor and being able to get the results that you need, that window is your Zoom, right? To your point, right? Is don't just hire the leverage and then just be like, I mean, like I always try to tell people, what would it look like if you went to go work for somebody and they're just like, hey, welcome, good luck, right?
Yeah, hope you do good. What?
Bye. And that just doesn't work. He wouldn't work there for very long either. No. Cool. Let me do a lightning round with you, and then we'll wrap it up. So I've just got some random lightning rounds.
Let's go.
Favorite business book.
Favorite business book. Lately, it's probably like I keep going back to Jamie Kern Lima's Worthy, and around the mindset of how the rewiring and remapping the mindset of self image and belief.
Love it. Best purchase under $100.
Best purchase under $100. My pro subscriptions to Chat and Manus.
I love it. I thought you'd say your frisbees for frisbee golf.
No, dude, it gets to be way more than $100. I keep losing them.
Your wife wished they under 100.
She doesn't know. Stop talking.
Favorite AI tool.
Favorite AI tool. Lovable.
Cool. Love that. What app do you use the most? Let's just call it from your phone.
Right now, because I'm prepping for a bodybuilding competition, I use Chronometer. I'm tracking all my food, everything by the gram is going into there.
Love it. Love it. What's your most impactful habit?
My most impactful habit is my right now, my physical and my mental health routine. I make my health a priority. It's a requirement, not a reward.
Love it. One thing you'd automate immediately, whether it's you or it's something you see in general.
Marketing.
Cool. One thing you'd never delegate.
Relationships.
Love it. What's your definition of leverage?
My definition of leverage is to be able to be present without sacrifice.
Perfect. Love that. Love that. All right. Hey, everybody. Again, I want to wrap this up. Matt, so much. Thank you for taking your time with us today. This is an awesome podcast. I was looking forward to this one for a week now since he booked on my schedule about a week ago. Haven't seen Matt in a while. Love being able to catch up on this. This is what I always love about the networking game, because you get to, through business, usually have a connection and reconnect. So thank you for volunteering to come out here and do it. If people want to reach out to you, whether it's for an EXP opportunity, whether it's for a coaching opportunity, how would they do that?
Man, you can find me on all the socials. It's Mat Levchenko, Matt with 1 T, Levchenko. And if you're curious about the mission of a no regrets life, it's just noregretsblueprint.com.
Love it. Love it. All right, Matt. Well, I appreciate you. We're going to get all of your info and your bios and your headshots and all that stuff. Get all that together. We'll put this out there on the episode and we'll release it. And again, dude, always an honor getting to see you and hang out with you again. One of these days you'll come into Dallas. I'll come into Kansas City again, and maybe we'll golf. We'll like stick golf versus frisbee golf, or we
call it ball golf. Yeah, we'll do ball golf instead of disc golf.
Exactly. All right, peace out, man. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it, man.